Hi guys, this video is pretty much about tyres, choosing the correct tyre and to give you a rough ballpark on what sort of tyre pressure to be using on a track day. I'll tell you what I would recommend, but I would also go with whatever the manufacturer recommends is the best advice. But generally, obviously, coaching, I've used so many different tyres, treaded tyres, slick tyres, and obviously over the years I've been raced on treaded tyres throughout the years and slick tyres also. Especially on track days, I generally prefer to use treaded tyres. Now when I say treaded tyres, I mean treaded race compound tyres, not treaded road compound tyres. And the difference is the treaded road compound tyre, not only is the rubber a lot harder, the profile of the tyre is so much different than the race tyres. So for example, a road tyre, a standard road tyre would generally be a little bit harder to get the heat in it because the rubber doesn't move as much, and also the profile of the tyre isn't quite the same as a race tyre, so therefore the bike probably won't tip in as easy into the corners, as opposed to a race compound treaded tyre. The profile is all designed to enable you to turn into the corners obviously a lot faster. Now, treaded tyres, in my opinion, the biggest benefit of a treaded tyre is it's so much easier to keep the heat in any treaded race compound tyre. So obviously, providing you've got them, use tyre warmers. If you use tyre warmers, which generally when I'm coaching I don't, because I'm in and out of the pit lane so much, I generally don't use tyre warmers. I just flick it on the side stand, but I always give myself one or two good safety net laps where if I know I'm going to be going fast, definitely 2 laps to warm the tyres up, get some good heat in the tyres, and then generally after 2 laps of an average, say, 2-mile circuit, you're good to go fast after 2 laps. I have been caught out on many of occasions where I've thought I've got enough heat in my tyre just after 1 lap, and I've pretty much almost took the front or the back or whatever. So it's a fine line. If you're not using tyre warmers, definitely give yourself them 2 laps, the safety laps, just to generate the heat in the tyres. The biggest thing is, guys, with whether you use treaded tyres or slicks, is making sure you get the right tyre pressure. And again, it's more crucial and critical to get it correct the faster you are. So the faster you are, the more heat you're going to generate in the tyres, the more the tyre's going to expand. So I always say, do your tyre pressures when they're hot. So if you've got your tyre warmers on, your stands on, do your tyre pressures when they're at the hottest maximum temperature. Generally, whether it be a slick or a treaded tyre, as a rough sort of ballpark, I always kind of keep myself roughly around about 32 psi in the front and 27 psi in the rear tyre, and that's only done hot when the tyres are hot. Okay, it's cold pressures I wouldn't really know, but I generally only ever do my tyre pressures when the tyres are hot, and then they're set, and I know I'm good to go. So as I said, treaded tyres are easier to keep the heat in them, and on any track day and even club racing, I seriously would say treaded tyres are well good enough for any track day. To be the fastest rider on a track day, you could be the fastest rider on a track day on treaded tyres without a shadow of a doubt. And I've done it, and I've coached riders on treaded tyres and they've been fine. So slick tyres, of course, there's an advantage, the faster you are. Generally, in my opinion, with a slick tyre, you'll get a lot less movement from the tyre because there's no cuts in it. Also, a slick tyre is harder to keep the heat in it, so if the heat isn't in to start with, it's generally a lot harder to warm up. You will get a little bit more tyre life out of a slick tyre, which is one of probably the most beneficial things with a slick tyre, especially if you're trying to keep the cost down. But yeah, a slick tyre is better grip, but it gives you better grip for a longer period, if that makes sense. So in my opinion, you can still get just as good grip with a treaded race tyre, but not for the same life as you would with a slick tyre. The slick tyre will give you better grip for a longer period than the treaded tyre would. The treaded tyre will give you a good grip, but for a shorter period. So hopefully that explains the difference in the tyres, because I get a lot of people asking me, you know, what is the difference, should I use slicks? And sometimes people are nowhere near fast enough to keep the heat in a slick tyre, and especially if you're on a particular track day and there's red flags or the sessions are getting stopped, then you're putting yourself massively at risk by using a slick tyre, because once that tyre temperature drops out of the tyre, you're going to need another good 2 laps to get the tyre temperature back up to temperature before it's safe to go fast again. So in general safety terms, I would always say track days and club racing, treaded tyres all day long for me. And off the top of my head, I've got no tyre deals with anybody, so it's not in my interest to say a particular tyre make, but I generally prefer to use the new Dunlop tyres, the new Dunlop race treaded tyres, and the new Pirelli Supercourses. So they're my 2 preferred best choices of tyres, or Metzeler, Pirelli and Dunlop. So they're my sort of 3 safety net tyres where I know I can go fast and keep myself safe on them. So there you have it, guys. That's my little tyre guide. So hopefully that stands you in some good use. Thank you.